Greetings, my excellent friends. The Dead Monk welcomes you to Purgatory. I just spent the last 8 hours watching Stranger Things, and now I'd like to talk about it. I haven't had a lot of time to let it digest yet, but I just finished watching it. But I have a few thoughts for now. And before we get into the spoilers, because it just came out yesterday, I loved it. I thought Season 1 was great. Season 2, I still liked it, although it felt a little bit more the same. But this season was really fresh. Plenty of new ideas in this. Now, it could be that it's been a while since I watched Seasons 1 and 2, and maybe if I'd watched them in the last week or two, I would feel differently. But no, I didn't have time to do that. I wasn't going to wait. I want to watch it right now as soon as it came out. So yeah, I watched it. It's great. It's fresh. I really loved it. This season was not to get too much into what happens, but this season you kind of get a Red Dawn vibe. You have the Soviets in the 80s, good old Cold War, and then you have the kids facing off against the Soviets. So little Red Dawn. And then you also have a little invasion of the body snatchers. So a lot of this season takes place in a mall, and that got me thinking, with all the malls doing badly, being in trouble, closing down, they should just turn them all into movie sets. Film sets, TV sets, just film everything at a mall. That'll keep all these malls in business. Or make use for them at least. They don't all have to be Amazon warehouses. Well, you know what else they can do? Make a bunch of them Dawn of the Dead LARPing facilities. People would love that. So let's see, well, I'm watching it. When Carrie Ellis shows up, I had no idea he was going to be in it. Yeah, he plays the mayor of Hawkins. Don't want to say too much about him, but love Carrie. Yeah, he's in that. Let's see. Other new characters that played big roles, like them. There's the new girl, Robin. She works with Steve at the mall, at the ice cream shop. And yeah, liked her quite a bit. And then another character that I didn't remember too much from before, because I don't think she was in it too much. Lucas's little sister, Erica. She plays a bigger role now. And I didn't even recognize that was his little sister at first. Like I said, it's been a while since I watched Season 2, so she's in there. I love her and her sauce. The whole series takes place right around the 4th of July, and yeah, there's the big town celebration for the 4th of July, and one of her lines got a good chuckle out of me. She says, you can't spell America without Erica. Yeah, that's true. So let's see. Yeah, both of them. Oh, and also returning from before, you have Murray. And I don't recall if Murray was in both of the first 2 seasons. Yeah, he has his little hideaway bunker away, sealed off from the government, keep him out. You know, with his tinfoil hats and all that. Yeah, I don't remember if he was in both seasons or not, but he's in this season quite a bit. Yeah, loved him. And then there's this Russian character, Alexei. Love him too. All these new characters, they're great. Let's see, what else can we say without spoiling anything? And I can't say too much more without getting into spoilers, so I'll just say that if you like Seasons 1 and 2, then I'm sure you'll love Season 3. Just right after watching it, I really don't have any complaints. I'm sure I'll see some flaws in it when I think about it a little more, maybe watch it again, but soaking in 8 hours all at once, it's tough to keep it all straight, take it all in. So yeah, if you liked Seasons 1 and 2, definitely watch Season 3, you won't be disappointed. Like I said, kids taking on the Soviets, gets a Red Dawn vibe. I mean, 1980s Red Dawn, not that remake from a few years ago. And some Red Dawn vibe, some invasion of the body snatchers. In a way, the show kind of feels like watching Tremors. If you've seen the Tremors movies, every new Tremors movie is after another new kind of monster. Wow, it's been so long since I saw Tremors. What do they call them in the original? Graboids? Something like that. Graboids? Ah, man, I can't remember. That's bad. Anyway, every movie, there's an evolution to them. There's some new kind of monster in Tremors 2. In Tremors 3, it's a new kind of monster. All the way up to Tremors 6, 7, I don't recall. But it's kind of like this, where kind of like that in Stranger Things, where every season you have a new evolution of these monsters from the Upside Down. So yeah, oh, and this time, as I said, you get a little bit of invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's not really spoiling too much. It starts very early on. You see some other monsters too. It's not just completely invasion of Body Snatchers. You see some other monsters too. But a lot of people have been body snatched. So, yeah, go watch it. No reason not to. Get it on Netflix. The whole thing came out 4th of July. I have a few other things to say about the show, but those will involve spoilers. If you haven't watched the show yet, don't watch any more of this video. So, you're warned. Alright, so spoiler time. I was so happy to see Carrie Ellis show up. I mean, I hadn't seen any trailers for the season or anything. I didn't know he was going to be in there. So yeah, I loved when he showed up. But I feel like outside of, any of the stuff I've seen him in, outside of Princess Bride and Robin Hood Men in Tights, he always plays a dick. And he certainly was a dick in this. Yeah, he's the mayor, and he's garbage. I mean, he's good at it, but poor Carrie, he always has to play garbage. Oh, he's also on an episode of Seinfeld. He wasn't a dick on that. And then all the interplay between Joyce, Winona Ryder's character, and Hopper, I don't remember that actor's name, but the interplay between them was great this season. I mean, they spend most of the season together. And yeah, Winona Ryder, she just needs to stop. She just needs to stop liking men in the show, because every time she likes a guy, he's dead. I mean, last season she had Sean Astin, and nope, he got killed. And now she decides, now she likes Hopper. Took all season for that to happen. And the part within the car with Murray and Alexei, oh, that's great. Murray and Alexei, well, the two were in the front seat bickering, Joyce and Hopper. And then Murray's telling them, oh, alright, you guys shut up, you need to just admit to each other you like each other, blah, blah, blah. And then he sits back in the back seat, and Alexei's there, and he only speaks Russian, and Murray speaks Russian too. And it's like, oh, what's going on? And Murray says, oh yeah, I told them they just need to get it over with and sleep with each other. Alexei says, oh wait, these two haven't slept with each other yet? And then they just have a big laugh. They're like, oh, this is crazy, it's so obvious. But yeah, they were fun. But yeah, just the whole season, the two of them bickering with each other, interacting. Great chemistry with the two of them in the show. Yeah, and as I said, they're together almost the whole series, but then, of course, she likes the guy again, and he's dead. Although, so at the end, the Russians have this big machine shooting a laser into a crack to try to open a portal to the Upside Down, just like Paul Reiser and company had going on before. Well, I mean, they didn't have a big laser. Well, I don't remember what they did. It was just a big crack. Well, whatever was going on. So yeah, the Russians have the big laser that they built underneath the Hawkins Mall, and yeah, they're shooting in there to try to open up a gap to the other world, the Upside Down. And Joyce and Murray and Hopper, infiltrate the base after some of the kids have already been there. But they infiltrate the base, and they're there to destroy the machine. But, Hopper's in his big fight scene with the big Russian brute. Like the big Russian brute too, he was cool. Hopper has his fight with that, and then it's time they need to blow this thing up, but the device gets damaged and there's no way he can make it out of there. There's just electricity everywhere. And he gives his little nod, says his goodbye to Joyce, and she turns the keys and makes this thing explode. And we see the Russian scientists that are down there on the ground, looking on as this thing is going haywire. We see them and they just turn into dust, look like Avengers. But we don't see Hopper. It's just the machine explodes, they turn to dust, and you assume that he's dead. But just the fact that they don't show him, I thought, well, maybe he got out of this some way. It's Hopper. Can't kill Hopper. Hopper's great. And that upset me at first. It's like, no, don't kill Hopper. Unless this is the end of the show. If you're going to do a season 4, no, you need Hopper. So, yeah, you don't see him disintegrate or get blown up. It's just when she gets a chance to look back out there, there's just nothing there. There's just wreckage. So yeah, you don't see him, and even the scientists that get turned to dust, well, maybe they actually just got sucked into the Upside Down. You don't know. But then after the last episode credits, they do have the scene at the end. And now they're in Kamchatka, they're in Russia, and they show these Soviet guards dragging some guy out of a cell down into some pit, and they have what they call them, demidog. Can't remember the names from previous seasons. Yeah, from series 2, I don't remember the name from that. Demidog, I think, but yeah, it could be something else. But they have one of those, and yeah, it eats the guy. But before they drag that guy out of the cell, they go up to one cell, and one of them says, "No, not the American." And the Russians were in Hawkins. I don't remember what state they're in. But anyway, the Russians came over to the US, and they're in Hawkins, and built the facility under the mall to try to get to the Upside Down, because they tried the same thing in Russia, or at least somewhere in the Soviet Union. They tried it multiple places, and they couldn't get an opening to work. They couldn't make it happen. So they knew that a gate had been opened in the US, so they went over there. But here we are in Russia, and they do have one of the demidogs. They do have one of those. So where'd they get that? So yeah, maybe they were able to get in. Maybe Hopper and these scientists all got sucked into the Upside Down, or somehow he escaped. And, they make you assume that, alright, this American they're talking about, that's Hopper. So now, season 4, is that going to take place in Russia? Are all our kids going to go on a big field trip to Russia? Who knows? But yeah, hopefully we haven't seen the last of Hopper, because Hopper's the best. Also on deaths. So, Alexei, it was so sad when you see that Russian thug walking straight at him at the festival, because you knew what was happening. He was already carrying his gun right there with the silencer, so you knew Alexei had it. It was so sad, because he was fun. Right, and then we had our other big death, Billy. And Billy was such a prick in the last season, and yeah, this season starts off, and yep, he's still a prick. And you just start to dislike him more and more, and then he's the first one that gets body snatched, mind flayed. So yeah, I think they called them, once people had been taken over, they called them the flayed. So, I mean, that was basically your main monster from this season was the Flayed. Alright, so yeah, Billy's the first one that gets taken over. And what had happened was when they closed the gateway to the Upside Down in the last season, there was still a little bit of the entity. Do they call it something? Yeah, well, whatever. The big monster from season 2, there's still a little bit of it left on this side. And so it's able to infest, eventually, it takes over Billy and spreads like a virus, and more people get body snatched. And, yeah, so Billy, he's just becoming more and more unlikable, but, yeah, at the end, when 11 breaks through to him, and it's down to actually Billy instead of just the monster that's infested him, and Billy fights back, then you actually feel sorry for him when he then gets killed. The whole time he's been a dick, but no, you feel bad for him. So yeah, even that was sad when he got killed, but not like Alexei or Hopper, especially Hopper. But again, you don't actually see Hopper gone, so you can't be certain. And then they had the post-credit thing, so yeah. Although that's not until about half an hour later. So yeah, you spent half an hour thinking, well, he's dead. But, and then finally after half an hour, you get that post-credit scene. So all this taking place at the mall, that was all fun. What I really would have liked though, at some point, really wouldn't have made any sense in the story, because this isn't something that existed in the 80s, but we could pretend. I really wish that at some point, especially if it had been during the big fight scene in the last episode, they're fighting a huge monster, and Billy, well, until Billy turns on it, but they're fighting a huge monster in the mall, they're throwing fireworks at it. Yeah, all that's going on. 11's having trouble using her powers. But yeah, all that's going on. I wanted to hear Robin Sparkles singing "Let's Go to the Mall." As I said, it would have been cheesy, but I would have loved it. I mean, they would have felt like they were aping things like Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's put some music in there to try to go with it, but it just would have been a joke, because "Let's Go to the Mall" isn't a real song. But I would have loved to hear it. Alright, so I think those are most of my thoughts for now. So, I mean, once again, I thought it was great. I liked it better than Season 2. As I said, Season 2 felt a little bit of just more the same to me after Season 1, but yeah, I love this. So yeah, go watch it now, binge it, just plop yourself down on the couch and watch it for 8 hours. You won't be disappointed. So, that's it for now. All of you out there, be excellent to each other. Farewell. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it and would like to encourage me to make more, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again. A bientôt.